Hello, I'm Charles Zeanah from Tulane University in New Orleans. I and my colleague, Edmund Sonuga-Barke, are co-editing a special issue of the Journal of Child Psychology and Psychiatry that will be published in October of 2016. The focus of this special issue is the effects of early trauma and deprivation on human development. A core question in developmental psychopathology has been how do early environmental exposures to different types of adversity and events early in life produce negative outcomes many years later. The cumulative risk model, that is, that long-term adverse outcomes are better predicted by the total number rather than the specific nature of risk exposures, has become the dominant model. Despite considerable evidence supporting the cumulative risk model, it's very possible that the reason that risks and outcomes seem to lack specificity may well have to do with our limited understanding of pathways and mechanisms. Developmental investigators and theorists have plenty of reasons to believe that the nature, timing, and dose of adverse experiences matters. To advance our understanding of the links between risks and outcomes, researchers are increasingly focusing on specific neurocognitive and neurobiological mechanisms that mediate risk-outcome pathways to try to understand if and why particular exposures predispose to particular outcomes in particular individuals, especially the ways in which brain and biological systems are disrupted by deprivation and trauma. Cumulative risk in this issue is studied prospectively in a long-term longitudinal study. Neglect and deprivation are studied by examining children who experienced early institutional rearing or social neglect. Traumas include all sorts of harmful input, witnessing violence, exposure to war trauma, physical and sexual abuse. These papers, taken together, provide compelling cross-sectional and longitudinal evidence that early experiences of inadequate input, such as neglect and deprivation, and harmful input, such as threat and trauma, may lead to long-term developmental and clinical abnormalities. A number of papers demonstrate also that the presence and behavior of caregivers moderate the effects of early adversity and response to interventions. Our hope is that this special issue provides a preliminary platform for synthesis between models of general and specific risk processes. By extending questions to brain and biological systems impacted by deviations from the expectable environment, this research is moving us from delineating morbidity to characterizing mechanisms. We hope you'll read the special issue and enjoy it. Thank you very much.